Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. So, for anyone curious, this is the Reading Royals, the ECHL affiliate of the Flyers. Thought I'd swap things up here a little bit. Anywho, the 2024 trade deadline previews continue on today with the Philadelphia Flyers. So, the Flyers are a team that has shocked the hockey world this year. And me, as a Flyers fan myself. They have. They were a team that really was not expected to do anything, really. I had them 8th in the division, but they proved us wrong. Obviously, they proved us wrong. So as of right now, they're currently 30, 20, and 7 for 67 points. They are 3rd overall in the Metropolitan Division. So, yeah, that's a spot where we didn't think they'd be. I thought they would be 8th, last in the conference, not playing well whatsoever. However, this team, even though the talent isn't there, they work hard, they play a great system, and they're hella fun to watch. So I've been really entertained this year by the Flyers. However, there's been a lot of questions in regards to what's going to happen at the trade deadline. So we'll get into that here. Now, they currently have $1.3 million in projected cap space. Right now, though, I believe they have $7 million that they can work with. So if they wanted to buy, they have money to. If they didn't want to buy, then yeah, you have money to sell, I guess. You don't need money to sell. But anywho, when you look at this team, they are a team that wasn't expected to be here. And Tortorella said in multiple of his post-game conferences and in pre-game conferences and media days and all that stuff, he has said that the Flyers should not stray from their plan. And it looks like that's the case. It looks like Briere's not going to stray away from the plan just because this team's having a surprisingly good year. And part of me is a little bit disappointed with that because this year has been such a shock for a lot of teams that I kind of think maybe you should go for it. Try and go for it. I mean, the NHL is a playoffs that anything can really happen. We saw Florida last year, a team that was not expected to do really much of anything, go to the Stanley Cup Finals. No disrespect to Florida, but they were playing the mighty Boston Bruins at that point, who weren't so mighty at the end of that series. But regardless, anything can happen in the playoffs. Anything. So that's why I'm a little bit disappointed with that, but then again, I'm not mad at them for going in this direction either. I'm not mad at them for saying they shouldn't stray away from the plan. Because one example that I think of a lot is the Chicago Blackhawks. In 2020, 2021, the Blackhawks looked better than expected. They still missed the playoffs, but they looked better than expected. Stan Bowman, even though the whole sexual assault thing was going on during that, it was a whole crazy thing. But Stan Bowman goes in, trades for Seth Jones, and now they have a horrible contract for the next 8 years. I was fearing at points this year that Philadelphia was going to do that. They were going to head into this, maybe be first-round exits or even miss the playoffs, even though they were better than expected. And Briere's like, oh, we're going to go out and trade for a big forward or a big defenseman now, and we're going to try and win. That's what I was worried what's going to happen. So I'm kind of happy they're going in this direction of this conservative selling. However, it isn't even really selling. Let's be honest here. It really isn't selling all too much because it looks like the guys that they were going to move, they're talking to extend contracts with. So as of right now, your UFAs and RFAs goes as follows, and it's a short list. You got Sean Walker, Mark Stahl, and Nick Seeler. So all defensemen there on the UFA list. Walker has been a very effective guy this year. Him and Seeler collectively have been probably our best pairing. They have played really well defensively and have gotten some offensive chances there too. So they are two players who have clicked really well together, and they're guys that you might want to keep in town. So I don't blame them for talking about contract extensions. And Mark Stahl is on the brink of retirement. So I honestly don't mind if they move him at the deadline for like a 6th-round pick or something like that. If a team needs a depth defenseman, maybe Mark Stahl is the guy they want to go out and get. But honestly, I expect for him to retire. If not, maybe they keep him for another year, but apart from that, I feel like this is probably going to be his last year in the NHL when we're just looking at that. So if I'm being honest, it's what I see there with Mark Stahl. But apart from that, these other two guys, Seeler and Walker, they could sign. They really could sign the contracts. So it's not a bad idea there to do that. Your RFAs, then, you got Igor Zamula and Carter Hart. Now, Carter Hart's obviously not going to play because of these sexual assaults, so I imagine he just gets let go.
It's what I imagine. It's what the expectation is probably going to be with him. Zamula, I think they obviously keep him. He's been a very solid young defenseman. Obviously, he's young. There's learning points you can take out of some of these games, but Zamula's been playing very well for the Flyers, and I'd be shocked if they moved him. So yeah, what are your needs? Well, you want picks and prospects. It looks like that is the direction they're going to try and go in for. Is try and get some draft picks. Potentially get some future assets, which if they can't agree to deals with Walker and Sealer, which I doubt because both of them have expressed they want to stay in Philadelphia, I think that they could trade them for sure. Movable pieces are definitely Sean Walker, definitely Nick Sealer, as I mentioned. Rasmus Ristolainen, I've heard in rumors. I would be shocked if he gets traded. Briare's even said that they're not in a rush to trade any of these guys, mainly because of just how good the core's been. How good the defense has been this year for us. And that is something that I never thought I'd say. I never thought I'd say. Because if you guys have been following me for a long time, for the new viewers, you won't understand this as much. But I have been complaining for the past 4 years about how the defense just isn't good enough. And this year it's been really solid. And now they're looking to trade guys. It's just kind of funny to me. But I'm glad that Briere is saying that. They're not thinking about trading guys. So Ristolainen, I wouldn't expect him to get dealt, but we never know. And I mean, if we could get that contract off the books, perfect. I'm very happy with that. As well as that too, Scott Laughton's been in talks. Laughton, I don't think gets dealt because they gave him an assistant captaincy role. I think they're taking calls, but they're not going to move him. I would be shocked if they move Scott Laughton. Because Laughton has spoken out multiple times that he wants to be a Flyer. He loves Philadelphia. He is a born Flyer, if we're being honest. He is a born Flyer. Other guys, maybe Garnet Hathaway. Hathaway's in their year left after this year. I don't think he gets moved. He's been a very effective player for us, but he again will be brought up in rumors. Morgan Frost, I heard earlier in the season. I don't know if that happens. I doubt it. Because I think Frost has been playing some good hockey recently and over the course of this season, even though there's been ups and downs. There's been some pretty positive impacts from Morgan Frost as well. But yeah, that is all the guys that I think could get moved for Philadelphia. The moral of the story is that I don't think they're going to be buyers. I don't think they're going to be sellers. I think they'll just probably be somewhere in the middle, if we're being honest. Unless if the 2 weeks from now, which is when the trade deadline happens, 2 weeks from now, if they fall off a freaking cliff from then and now, then yeah, they'll be sellers. But apart from that, I think this team stays where they are, and I think they will be buyers. Or they will mostly stay pat and be conservative sellers. Not buyers, I didn't mean that. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below because obviously I'm a Flyers fan. I've talked to plenty of different Flyers fans in person and online about what they feel about this team. Some believe they should buy, some believe they should sell, but regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button down below. I really appreciate it. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.